Gaslighting. Gaslighting occurs when someone manipulates another to doubt their perception of reality, memory, and sanity. Originating from a 1938 play called Gaslight, it involves a husband making his wife believe she's going insane by dimming the gaslights and denying their flickering. Gaslighting undermines the victim's confidence by deploying confusing lies, withholding information, and shifting blame onto others while denying their perspective and claiming it's untrue. Additionally, it often involves guilt-tripping tactics to further undermine the victim's confidence. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is a manipulation tactic wherein a person makes another feel guilty about their actions or inaction in a specific situation. For instance, if a toxic individual isn't invited to a friend's party and discovers this, they might say, "I can't believe you didn't invite me. I thought we were closer than that," aiming to instill guilt and ensure an invitation next time. Isolation occurs when a manipulator severs a victim's connections with friends or family, ensuring no support network disrupts their plans. This is achieved by undermining the victim's relationships and turning them against loved ones, convincing them that these connections are detrimental. Additionally, the manipulator fosters dependency in the victim, making them believe they require their support or approval, instilling fear to convince them they cannot survive without them. Abusive partners, cults, and online predators often employ this tactic, alongside love bombing. Love bombing. Love bombing is a manipulative tactic where the perpetrator overwhelms their target with affection, attention, and praise to falsely convey love. This involves excessive compliments, gifts, and talk of grandiose future plans. The manipulator aims to make the victim feel like the most important person in their life, though the underlying motive is to gain power and control. Furthermore, those who engage in love bombing create a strong attachment in the victim and then withdraw it abruptly, causing them to crave it and become more susceptible to the perpetrator's demands. Historically, it's believed that Adolf Hitler utilized love bombing techniques on his wife, Eva Braun, to maintain her proximity while pursuing his destructive political agenda. Playing the victim. Playing the victim is a commonly employed tactic, not only by manipulative individuals, but also by those who wish to evade accountability. It involves portraying oneself as the wronged or hurt party, while deflecting blame onto others and seeking sympathy by exaggerating their own hardships. This tactic allows the manipulator to avoid admitting wrongdoing or taking responsibility for their actions. It can be highly effective as it forces others to challenge the manipulator's narrative, a task many are reluctant to undertake. Threats or coercion can manifest in various forms, each aimed at exerting control over the victim. Firstly, there are overt physical threats, such as violence or property damage, to compel compliance with the manipulator's demands. Emotional threats involve leveraging relationships, like threatening to end a partnership over minor disagreements or spreading damaging rumors. Financial coercion entails withholding financial support or destabilizing monetary stability, as seen in recent ransomware attacks like the one on Colonial Pipeline. These threats may escalate into legal actions or social repercussions, including reputational damage through lies and smear campaigns. The silent treatment, a common form of manipulation, is prevalent in various settings, including relationships, workplaces, and online interactions. It involves withholding communication or interaction with someone as a form of punishment. The manipulator may refuse to engage in eye contact or acknowledge the victim's presence, even when in close proximity. This controlling tactic shares similarities with ghosting, where individuals abruptly cut off communication. Ghosting and the silent treatment share similarities in that they both involve a lack of communication between the manipulator and the victim. However, the key difference lies in their intent and perception. While the silent treatment is typically used for punishment and control, ghosting is viewed as a passive and disrespectful way to permanently end a relationship or friendship. Although ghosting may not always be intended as manipulation, it often results in a lack of closure, leaving the victim feeling rejected, abandoned, and confused. Shaming can take various forms, the most common being public humiliation, where the manipulator denigrates the victim in front of others to cause embarrassment. Additionally, the manipulator may unfavorably compare the victim to others, inducing feelings of inadequacy and inferiority. They might also shift blame onto the victim, mock them to evoke feelings of foolishness, or even exclude them from social gatherings. Another tactic is triangulation, where the manipulator involves a third party to create conflict or competition within the victim's social circle. Triangulation is a manipulative tactic where a third party is introduced to instigate jealousy or competition within the victim, creating a sense of rivalry for the manipulator's attention. The manipulator may use the third party to provoke jealousy in the victim by flirting with them and spending more time together, deliberately excluding the victim from activities. By fostering a competitive atmosphere, the manipulator plants seeds of insecurity and doubt in the victim's mind, sometimes even resorting to spreading rumors about the victim to the third party, causing further discord. Ultimately, this tactic renders the victim more susceptible to manipulation by both the manipulator and the third party. Aggressive jokes often conceal deeper intentions and meanings, serving as tools to manipulate victims in various ways. Writer Shaha Arabi delves into this topic in their Thought Catalog article, highlighting how covert narcissists derive pleasure from making hurtful remarks disguised as jokes. They employ this tactic to say hurtful things while maintaining a facade of innocence and coolness. However, if you react to these insensitive remarks, you're often accused of lacking a sense of humor. These jokes cross boundaries by incorporating insults, sarcasm, gaslighting, and exclusionary remarks to a degree that far exceeds acceptable norms. Additionally, some jokes at social gatherings aim to isolate individuals, portraying them as fools and alienating them from others present. Emotional blackmail occurs when a manipulator employs threats, guilt, or other emotional tactics to control and manipulate the victim. Withholding affection is a common strategy wherein the manipulator deprives the victim of love and support until they yield to their demands. Additionally, the manipulator may make promises or commitments to the victim, only to betray them later on. Projection, another tactic, involves attributing one's own thoughts and feelings onto someone else. This allows the manipulator to shift blame onto the victim while avoiding responsibility for their actions.